Hi, my name is Aaron, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the Samsonite EcoDiver 4-in-1 duffel bag. This is my first review ever for anything, so just please bear with me. But I thought I would do this for you because I was looking to buy this, and when I looked online, I didn't see any reviews except for the one offered by Samsonite, so I thought I'd give you one of my personal insights on about what I thought about this piece of luggage. I just picked it up about an hour ago, so I actually haven't used it in its practical senses yet, but I just wanted to let you know my thought process and what I thought about it as first opinion. This is a new product from Samsonite. It is unique in the sense that it can expand to whatever you need in terms of size, up to 80 liters. So if you look here, you can have it into a couple different sizes. You can do cabin size at 36 liters with these dimensions, 51 liters, a little bit bigger, and then it gets into much larger sizes for check-in. And the reason why I was looking at this bag is I'm just at the tail end of a 2-month trip, which I proudly was able to pack 2 months worth of my things into a carry-on bag. That carry-on bag is now on its last legs, unfortunately, so I was looking for a new piece of luggage. And what interested me about this bag is that what I found my problem particularly was I started out with a carry-on bag that was quite full, and in this 2 months there were things that I wanted to buy, but because I didn't have more space, I was sort of limited on what new things I could buy. And with this bag, what I like is that you can start off with a carry-on bag, and as you travel longer and longer, it can expand to the size that you need. And as you know, traveling now, tickets on airlines could be quite cheap, but where they really get you is in the check-in bag fees. So sometimes the check-in bag fees can be as much as actually the airplane fees. So that's why I was trying to limit myself to a much smaller bag. So this is the bag. It comes in 4 different colors, black, yellow, green, and blue. I believe they all look quite sharp. I've only seen the yellow and the black with my own eyes, but online you can see the other 2 colors, and they look very, very nice. The way it works is there are these clips on the side where if you unclip them here on the side, you can expand it to whatever size you need. So it unrolls. It looks a little bit like a bike pannier bag for a bicycle. And it has sort of this traditional side loading as it would if it was just a normal square luggage. And it also has a top loading section here, which also you can load from. The zipper quality seems really well. This is, I believe, water resistant, so that's a very nice feature. And everything sort of unzips very smoothly, so that's a very nice feature. It does have this small outside pocket, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be big enough to fit a laptop. And that's a bit of one of my big gripes about this bag, is that if this is going to be touted as a carry-on bag, then the fact that it doesn't have space for a laptop is a little bit annoying. There's another bag on the inside, a small mesh bag, and then here on the inside there's a little bit of a small space here where you can put some more things on both sides. Okay, that's pretty much it for the storage capabilities of this bag. So what you do is you would fill it up to wherever you want, then you would roll it down to whatever size that it fits, and then you would clip these on the sides, and that would be your bag. It is, as I mentioned, a rolling bag, so that's quite nice. It seems to roll very easily and smoothly. One of the things that it doesn't have, which I wish it did have, is it doesn't have the 4 wheels, so it cannot roll in all 360 degrees. It's sort of meant to be kind of pulled behind you. And I believe that would have been something nice to have, although when you have those sort of 4-wheeled bags, it does sacrifice a little bit of space for storage. Now, what you do is if you are going to be using some of the larger sizes, it has these loops here, and that you would go ahead and string the handle through these loops, thereby making the bag bigger and easier to roll around. What I'm realizing is that when you are checking this bag in, obviously you're going to be tucking this back into the case so it doesn't break, I guess, when it's being transported under the airplane. But then this becomes a little bit of a free space, almost like a soft duffel bag. So I don't know, it doesn't seem to be very protective. So I think the problem that I have with this bag a little bit is that it's not going to be as protective as some of your square traditional suitcases. Where you will have protection is sort of in this space here where there is a bit of a hard shell, but it is not, it doesn't go throughout the entire bag. You can see here this is all soft, so this part would be a little bit more fragile when it gets checked in under the airplane. The zippers are big and they work very well. They do have the traditional loops here so that you can lock it with an external lock. The top one has the loops, and it took me a while to figure it out, but there is a little small loop here. So I'm assuming that that is where you would go ahead and lock up the top part. And I guess also, if you were to pack this a little bit smaller so it doesn't need the full size, you could put the zippers up here, and then when you roll the bag down and latch it, then nobody really would have access to that zipper point easily, at least. So that would be another way to safeguard this bag. Now, one of the other things that is sort of advertised on this bag is that on the bottom here of the bag, if you want to store this, you can lift these little latches, and then this sort of collapses down. And then what you can do is, there's a little bit of a strap here. So you can go ahead and really strap this down. And then you go ahead and strap this to this part here. And so then this kind of cinches down quite small. So you can see for storage, this is actually a very practical feature that you can make this quite compact. So I bought this, I looked around, I found a couple different prices. I've seen it go from anywhere between 300 euros down to what I bought mine for was 190 euros, or about $220. And I think we'll have to see how it travels, but at least that's my first impression. And hopefully that helps you out too. One last thing I forgot to mention, one thing that I did find that I didn't like so much is if you were to carry this for whatever reason, like this, these straps aren't very comfortable. They're not very ergonomic to the hand. They're sort of these flat, stiff, very sturdy and strong, but just not very comfortable to grip, especially if there was any weight in here. So I think that that's something that I would have loved to have seen done a little bit better. And before I forget, the weight of this is about 2.2 kilos. So it does feel quite light in the hand. So I think that's a nice feature, especially when you're a bit restricted with weight. Sometimes when the bag weighs a lot, that means you can't carry as much things with you. So anyway, I hope you liked my review. Let's see how it travels. If I find any issues when I'm checking this in, I will let you know. But thanks for listening and watching. Bye-bye. Hi, I just wanted to add one more thing. I just realized if you look here on the side of the bag, it does actually show you where the edge of the carry-on size is. So I thought it didn't have this, and that was going to be one of my things I was going to complain about. But if you look here, it shows that this is the 55 centimeter area. And so I believe this is where the edge of the cabin size is. So then when you're filling this and packing, then you know you can basically fill it up to that line. And that's what anything under that line would be fitting on into carry-on. And then another thing that I realized is when you pack it, one of the nice things is because this is not a hard structure, you can actually probably crush your things down and cinch things down to make things even more packed and tight. So things will probably get wrinkled, but at least you can really cinch this down and get it very nice and compact. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.